man. I just got finished working out.
In Frederick County, people know the names, but not always the stories. This is The Last of the Good Old Boys, hosted by Blaine Young and Billy Shreve. Each episode, we sit down with the movers and shakers of Frederick to talk about the moments, the risks, and the values that shaped who they are today. From the people who helped build Frederick County, this is The Last of the Good Old Boys.
The Last of the Good Old Boys with Blaine Young and Billy Shreve. And if you're tuning in and you say, what is The Last of the Good Old Boys? It is not a political show. No, it is a show about talking about those that helped make Frederick what it is, those that made it what it was, and those that will make it what it will be. And we have been talking to many different people over the past 12 episodes. Yes, we'll occasionally talk to people that are running for office or occasionally talk to people that are holding office. But last week we talked to Jason Williams, who played at Thomas Johnson, had an incredible story living in Birmingham, Alabama now. And then we talked to Spinny Johnson a couple weeks ago that played for Frederick High and played for the Globetrotters for a little bit, and a couple other, the Harlem Wizards, and is still giving back in the community and helping kids. We are going now to Houston, Texas, to talk to somebody that I haven't talked to in a long time, but man, people still talk about what he did at Thomas Johnson High School and the University of Maryland. Terence Morris. Terence, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Appreciate you guys having me.
No problem.
Man. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
And I appreciate it because you're coming right from basketball practice, right?
Yeah. Kind of ran over a little bit. I was trying to back up a little bit. Couldn't stop sweating, so I was trying to get some of the sweat off my face a little bit so I can look presentable.
Hey, you look real presentable. I do want to let everybody know that you're an hour behind us. So you have a full schedule, and you had basketball practice. So you fit us in at 6 o'clock here, 5 o'clock there. And Terrence, I want to rewind the clock a little bit and talk about some Frederick days, okay?
Sure.
So you went to elementary school where?
I went to a bunch of elementary schools. I went to Parkway for 1 year. Went to East Frederick for 1 year. I went to Hillcrest for another year.
That's right.
I was all over the place.
I already mentioned that because my mom, Carol Young, was your principal there for a little bit, and she says hello.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I was the East Frederick guy. That place is gone now. It's a Sheets.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, man. They tore it down. Had asbestos or something, so they tore it down, and now it's a Sheets and a Taco Bell.
East Frederick is gone. It's a Sheets.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy up there now? Every time I drive up there, I tend to get lost. Like I kind of like try to remember where things were before, and now I get up there and like the roads are a little bit different, landmarks are a little bit different than they were, when a couple of years that I've been there, and it's just different. It's just growing, and it's like it's a different place than what I grew up from.
So then you were at Monocacy Middle for a while, right? Or you went to Monocacy Middle full time?
Yeah, I was Monocacy Middle from all middle school from 6th to 8th grade.
Absolutely. And then didn't Phil Williams' little brother play there for a little bit?
Yeah, Cornelius. We actually played together for a year there in 8th grade, and I remember we talked about it from going from middle school to high school. I wondered, man. I was talking him to him, but he can't. He has no choice in, with where he moves, or his parents' job, where they relocated him and everything. But I thought it was cool that I'm trying to convince him to go to Maryland. I remember a long time ago, I ran into him again, and we talked about possibly trying to team up and go in Maryland again. But he ended up taking scholarship going to NC State instead. So it kind of went in a little different direction there. But he was one of my fun teammates to play with because he was, he's my height now that he wasn't when I was in 8th grade. So he's walking around at 6'9" in 8th grade, which was kind of amazing at that time.
So a lot of people don't realize that Phil Williams went to Penn State. His little brother Cornelius was at Monocacy Middle with the Twin Towers, Terence and Cornelius. And then I believe they were a military family, right? So they moved?
Yes.
So how tall were you guys in middle school?
Well, I wasn't even, I don't think I was the tallest. I think I was the 3rd tallest person. I think Tremaine Sampson was taller than me at the time. So that was pretty much our front court. So we're 6'9", 6'2", and 6'1" in 8th grade. So I know that's a little crazy at that time. But
so you had 3 guys that could dunk it in 8th grade.
No, the crazy part is like only one of us could dunk, and that was me. Cornelius couldn't. He tried. I think his body couldn't catch up.
Coordination wasn't there yet.
Yes, it wasn't there yet. I think he had the height for it, but he just couldn't get the coordination down for it. But
and Cornelius moved away. A lot of people don't know he signed and went to NC State.
Yeah.
So that's to think that. Imagine if you both were at Thomas Johnson, obviously, but
we would have some fun.
You were trying to.
You were on national news like every night.
Yeah, we would have definitely had some fun there.
So then you go to Thomas Johnson, play for Coach Tom Dickman. By the way, he says hello. Last night, I know a group were getting together and they were celebrating when the 1986 team beat DeMatha way back when. So, some of the old teammates are starting to get together a lot more since, unfortunately, we've had some pass.
Yeah, we have.
So talk about when you went to TJ.
It was, I would say a lot of things happened really fast for me at that time because 8th grade was my first year playing basketball for school.
Really?
Yes, that was my first year. So it was a pretty successful year. I think we won the championship that year in 8th grade. So going from 8th grade to 9th grade, I kind of found basketball was really the thing that I really liked to do. It wasn't really it was more of like a passion, a love. So, being at, I want to say 13 years old, going to 14, I had to talk to my mom that summer. My aunt lived in Virginia Beach, and for me, I loved basketball so much, but I didn't want any distractions at the time. So I asked my mom could I actually move in with my aunt during that summer, so I could focus more on basketball at the time. I remember I came back, and I think I played in Thomas Johnson's summer camp or something like that, and I grew from 6'1" to 6'8" during that time, but I was gone. And it was an everyday, like what I say, it's like it was like a love that every day that's what I did. I woke up, I ate breakfast, I watched NBA, like DVDs and stuff, tapes. Actually, it weren't even DVDs at the time, they were tapes. And I would try to emulate everything that I saw, like Charles Barkley do or Karl Malone do. I would work on that exact move for the entire day. And at the end of the day, my aunt, she lived on base with her husband. So I would go play with the older guys in the evenings. So
like military guys, like adults.
Yeah. So, the game's a little bit brutal. The guys are a lot older than me, a lot stronger, a lot faster, but it helped me so much that when I came back home to play regular ball, everybody on my level or my grade at the time was just like 2 or 3 steps behind me. So that kind of catapulted me from my first year and coming to my first year in high school. And it just blossomed from there. And then it just took over. And ever since then, it's like basketball's always been like a love for me since then.
So at 13, 14 years old, you just got up in the morning, you would go grind for 6-8 hours. And then you'd say,
that's what you did.
I'm going to play. I worked on all this stuff. Did you work on it like by yourself and then go
by
play?
By myself.
Just out there grinding, man, making it happen.
Yeah. And that's why I said you I learned myself at that time, because usually at 13 years old, 14 years old, you don't make mature decisions at that time. Usually,
Right.
a lot of times when school's out, you want to go hang with your friends. My friends were all the same, and we knew the love we had, for each other, so that wasn't going to change. But I had to do something for myself for a change that could possibly help me for the future, and where I could go and where I could land and where I could possibly be. So at that time, the way I look back at it now, I'm like, I imagine my daughter making a decision like that. I'm like, what? So
Right, yeah,
I didn't
right.
have any. I didn't have any push at that time. So it was just like, go do this. It just had this feeling to do it, and it just paid off.
It was just you, man, just the love of the game, and just
Yeah.
like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And at TJ, it was a fraternity, because, it was like when I came up, Terry Conley was out there
Yes, he was.
working out like crazy.
Yep.
And Chad
Terry-
Stahl.
Yep. And all those guys, when we played against them, they didn't take it easy on us either.
No.
They were trying to win. So, and I think that helped us develop that strong, like, dog mentality, that regardless who's out here, whether you're a female or you're a young kid, we're not going to let you win. And this is how it's done. So I think it's just, they passed it on to us, and we took that same approach, and it just grew from there.
Yeah, well, Chad's still like that, man. You go out on the court, he's throwing elbows.
Yeah.
I can remember when Terry couldn't even barely walk out there when he had the knee brace on.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was still out there, and he was still playing and giving everything he had. So
They all playing pickleball now, Terence.
I'm pretty sure that's the new thing now.
I know they're all out there playing pickleball. If I hear one more time, come on, Scoob, get out here and play pickleball, I'm like, I'm not playing no pickleball.
That's not
Huh?
me. I can't.
I do not want. Don't ever let me hear about in Houston, Texas, that Terrence Morris is out there playing pickleball.
Pickleball
No,
court, Terrence Moore.
I highly doubt it. You'll probably see me out there doing that. But
But what was some of your favorite street ball courts to play on? Mine was always Amber Meadows.
oh Lord, man, I'm gonna say this: we played on Applegate. I want to say College Estates.
Yep, that's
There was
correct.
a court there. We played at Field Point,
Yep,
McCurdy Field.
McCurdy Field. That was the butcher shop there.
Yeah. We played at the Cage out there on Route 40. And we just went wherever there was a basketball court. We felt that we didn't need anybody to be there, but we had a circle, a group of guys that wanted to always do it. And we had fun with each other. And usually when you see other people out there playing, that just brings other people out there. So it just turned into like every day, every Sunday evening. We're not watching football. We're going to be out here playing basketball. We're not watching basketball. We're out playing basketball.
Right.
And that was just our thing. And we just loved it. That's just all we knew.
Rosedale's gone.
It is.
No more 9-foot rims at Rosedale. It's gone. They should put up a storyboard or something there, because everybody should. But it's gone. There's no more 9-foot go over and dunk at Rosedale, play half court.
Wow. So they really got rid of everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of time. Don't get me wrong. There's McCurdy Field's still there.
Do people still actually go there?
No.
No.
Occasionally
Okay.
you'll see a game, not like we did back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what it was. You go to Amber Meadows. Place would be
Yep.
packed. If you lost, you jump in
Yep.
your car and you ride down to like you said, Carrollton Field Point, see if you get on there. You ride over to Applegate College Estates. I mean,
Yep.
that's just the way it was. You didn't want to
Yeah.
lose because you didn't want to sit.
Yeah, pretty much. Because if you didn't, you had to stay on. If you didn't,
Yeah.
you never know when you got back on again. So
And Sagner's isn't the same, if you remember. On Sunday, that's like when everybody came out, they'd be eating and barbecuing, and you'd have some big
Yeah.
games back there. But,
Yep.
I think that's part of AAU and Summer League and kids not wanting to get hurt or coaches wanting them to get hurt. But, man, so much was learned on those street ball courts.
no, I really was. I think that's where we learned our toughness from.
So who was the player that you least liked playing against in Frederick? And either on the street ball court or on competitive level
Well,
high
I
school?
think it's two different levels, right? It's
Well, but it
street
could be the
ball
same.
pickup games, and could be. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know if I really have a certain person that I was hated playing. I hated my uncles.
Yeah.
They didn't
they
take
were
it
dirty.
easy on you, did they?
No, they were dirty, and they were dirty,
Dirty,
and they were dirty, and a lot of grabbing and holding, a lot of, and there was some times where it got emotional, where where they got to the point where they would beat me, and I would carry that into the next time we played, and it got to the point where all right, I'm gonna get better than you eventually. So when you
carried over to the family reunion.
So when it got over to that point where I started getting better than them, I started getting less and less invites to the court.
So at TJ, you played for Coach Tom Dickman. What was that like? Because I can tell you this much: I graduated in '89, and I would go back once in a while, and I watched Coach change over the years. When I played, he was still in that kind of Bobby Knight era.
Throwing chairs.
No, I'm just saying. Maybe Bobby Knight's not a good. He was just a very matter of fact, tough coach. You're going to run motion. You're going to run box. If not, you're running suicides.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But I'll say this though. Out of all the coaches that I've had growing up, or playing for, or playing under, he's the one that I learned the most from.
Wow, that's saying a lot.
Because he helped me build a foundation and a lot of stuff that carried on for me for later. It's a lot of it's kind of crazy when you look back on it. Like it's like your parents always telling you something, your dad or your mom telling you something. You're like, man, this doesn't really make any sense. But eventually, in time, it'll show his head. They'd be like, man, that's exactly what she was talking about. And I wasn't seeing it at the time. Yeah, I mean, he would let my teammates beat me up in practice, which was fine because he said, I'm getting you ready for the ACC, which was fine with me because I knew it was going to be tough. But from what Coach did, the confidence he put inside me, and just the belief, a lot of things that I didn't even see myself possibly doing or being in a situation like that. He helped me understand that, but helped me understand in a calm way. Like, Coach, he's not the type of going to scream or yell. Nope. He's not going to curse. He's not going to do that, but he has a way of reaching you and talking to you the way you are, to be able to reach you.
Silence will kill you.
Yes. And, sometimes he'll give me that look like, that nod or look, and I'll be like, I know what he means by that. So it wasn't like we were just on the same wavelength. And
what I love about him now, Terence, is because I'm sure you hear from him and I hear from him, but he'll send love coach, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
that hits me. Terence.
Just back and forth. He's one of the first men that I want to say in my life growing up that I heard to say I love you, and I knew he meant it. So when I heard hear that, at the time it's like you don't hear too many guys say that.
Breaks you down, doesn't it?
So somebody outside, it does for sure.
So you leave
like
TJ.
I said, I still carry all that with me. Yep.
So you leave TJ, and to give you some stats, because I looked them up today, you left TJ. Currently, you're still third in scored points. You're third in rebounds and 13th in assists. So now you go to University of Maryland. And why'd you choose University of Maryland and the Terrapins?
There was a toss up, to be honest with you, between Maryland and UCLA.
Wow.
Yeah, I never told anybody that. My thing was, at the time, do I want to stay close to home so my family can see me play? Right. Or do I take the long route and go to UCLA, go to California, all the way across the United States, where I could just focus on basketball and that's it? And there's no other distractions because I don't know anybody else there. So it kind of, it's one of those decisions I made. But it had some family affiliations with it a little bit, that I didn't want to leave my brothers and sisters behind at the same time too, because they're young. They looked up to me a lot, and by me not being there, I don't know how they would have took it or how things would have turned out that way. So I kind of wanted to stay closer to home, and it kind of led me to pick Maryland at the time.
So what was that experience like? Because I mean, you had one heck of a career at Maryland, and at sophomore, you could have easily been one of the top picks in the NBA.
Yeah.
In the junior year, same, right?
Yeah.
But you decided to stay in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was there was a lot that went into it that I never really told anybody about. There weren't too many people that I felt close enough to tell to do that with. Now, my second year, my sophomore year, yes, I probably could have been a lottery pick at the time, but I felt like I was building like a brotherhood down there, like a family that I didn't really have. Coming from where I'm from, my mom worked a lot. There was a lot of times I didn't see her till the night. She was gone before. Sometimes I even went to school. She's already at work, and she's at her second job when I'm getting home from school. So it's like I felt like I was building a family of brothers down there that I didn't want to leave behind. And I know that a lot of people say that, oh, it's how could you turn down millions of dollars? But at the time, I feel like I had something that money couldn't buy at the time. And I felt that I was building that there with those guys, my teammates. And it just carried over to the next, my junior year, where I did the same thing. And a lot of people don't know this too, man, but I had a lot of mental stuff going on, issues. Not saying not crazy, anything like that, but more like I heard Spinny talking about the other day, about mental awareness, mental health. And I was going through a lot of stuff like that because I was hearing like whether or not, going to the draft, staying back in school, stuff like that. And I didn't have a real outlet to be able to talk to anybody about it. What do you think I should do? And I want to say my junior year, I got really, really down on myself in a way that I pretty much quit basketball for a bit during the season.
Really?
How long did you stop?
So this is how this worked. I went to practice that evening, and I just felt it's like an out of body experience at the time. It's just like basketball really. I felt like basketball was it wasn't. It's never done anything wrong with me, but I felt like basketball was changing people around me that made me change my outlook of looking at it. So when that happened, I kind of I just had enough. So I got in my car one day and I drove, and I think I ended up in somewhere maybe like southern, like close to North Carolina. And usually, I usually talk to my equipment manager, and he called me on my cell phone that day and said, "Where are you?" Because usually about 10 o'clock at night, you usually come up and shoot for about an hour. And I told him what was going on. He's like, "Have you talked to anybody about it?" And I'm like, "No, because I don't feel comfortable around talking about anybody about it." So I ended up driving back, and I stayed up all night talking to him once I got back into town. And he can help me put things in perspective. He's not alive with us anymore. He passed a few years back, but he was one person. Yeah, I appreciate it. That was one people that when I was at Maryland was able to help me keep a level head for one, keep me working, but also he was a good listening. He was a good friend at the time too. His name is John Bowie, by the way.
John Bowie.
Yep.
So the whole time through your junior year in college, you were your support network. You were out there I'm practicing all day because I want to do it. Like no one was pushing you. You didn't have anyone to bounce anything off of. It was like you for the most part.
Quite frankly, Terrence, I wanted to call you. I don't know if I call you shy, but maybe an introvert. I don't think you let a lot of people in your circle, correct?
Yeah, I'm the type of person I just like to observe. I'm more of I like to sit back and observe what's going on first before I actually put myself out there. That's the type of person I am.
I'm just saying it's a big deal for you to share that now because it doesn't sound like you've really shared that.
No, that's where it's called growth. It's growth. I think it's a lot of things that I had to deal with over the time where I had to find myself, but also be comfortable enough to talk about it because, some of these kids could be going through the same thing at home. And I want them to know that,
Absolutely.
when we're working out and we're training and we're team oriented, we're not just a basketball team. Like, I try to be what Coach Dickman was to me, to all these kids. So that way they could call me at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. I want to shoot, or something's not going right, Coach. I need to talk to you about this. I'm not feeling this. And, we've had discussions about this sometimes, not to that detail like that. Even when they're talking about girls at this school, how should I approach her and stuff like that. So I just try to be an outlet to them. Yeah. So it's just become normal for me now. I feel comfortable talking about it because everybody has their stuff. Everybody goes through the things, just how you deal with them. Yeah.
Well, and I don't think people realize the pressure on someone that's at University of Maryland, that's a sophomore, junior. All these, people telling this is what you should do. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the outside giving you advice, telling you what to do.
Oh yeah.
But you decide, and everyone's always got an opinion, don't they? Before and
true.
After.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like you said, you were disciplined. You wanted to think through things, and you had a process you had worked through your whole life that worked for you, and that was what you wanted to go through.
Yeah. Well, I mean, granted, I never had money in my life before anyway, so this ain't going to change. So Bobby waiting another year wasn't going to hurt anything. So I was fine.
It was just, to me, it was remarkable. It's something that I talk to Johnny Holiday every once in a while.
Yeah. I love Johnny. Johnny's cool, man.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Johnny for a while, but when we did the commencement of naming the court after Coach Tom Dickman, Johnny came up and emceed and whatnot. And Johnny and I had some conversations on the phone.
Yeah.
And your name came up. And I said, Johnny, I'm really disappointed in University of Maryland. When you left, I was upset and down on University of Maryland. And I'll tell you why, Terence, because you stayed all 4 years. To me, you're being a role model. Okay. You could have just said, hey, sophomore year, I'm out of here. I'm going to cash in. I'm a lottery pick. See ya. You stay all 4 years. Still today, and I pulled up the statistics, University of Maryland, you're still ranked 11th in points at University of Maryland. Now, when I think you left, you were a couple notches up above this is today.
Yeah.
So obviously there's been a lot of players come since you've been there, but you're still 11th in points, 5th in rebounds,
really,
12th in steals, 2nd in block shots, and 11th in field goals made. My thing to Johnny Holiday was, why in the heck is Terence Morris's number not in the rafters? The statistics support it. If you look at everybody above you in those categories that I mentioned, most of them are in that rafter.
Yeah.
And, I often said to Johnny Holiday, with all due respect, I feel like University of Maryland has not paid their due to Terence Morris. And it's almost like, I won't say that he's the forgotten player, but I don't think he's appreciated for the total portfolio of work that you gave that university for 4 years, and your number deserves to be in the rafter. And every time I kept going to these statistics, Johnny Holiday, you could hear his books.
Yeah.
He'd say, you're right. You're right. He goes next, oh my goodness, you are right. You're right. And I said, well, that's my opinion. And you don't have to comment, but I can tell you that until University of Maryland puts your number in those rafters, I don't think they've made right by you, in my opinion. That's me.
Well, first I want to say I appreciate it very much for you to say that. Second, it's okay. Like, to me, it's not going to make or break me. That may be something that happens later on. I was just watching the Dallas Mavericks game like maybe a couple weeks ago, and Mark Aguirre just got his number retired there. For as long as he's been there, he hasn't played. That happened for him. So if it happens, great. I mean, my family,
I know,
and we'll be all over it if that happens. But if it doesn't, I can still imagine being up there though, so it's all good.
And again, when I look up there and see some of the names and numbers that are up there, it just makes me shake my head and say, not doing right by Terence Morse. That's my opinion. I know that they're getting ready to have a game and have like, 100 players return or something because they're trying to get that unity back. That's coming up, or they've either had it, one of the two.
Yeah, they had it last week, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't make it up there. I tried to make as much as I can going up there because most of those guys, like the way things are going now with health and all that stuff, man, people are just passing just like that, and I don't want to not take the trip one time and not see somebody that I haven't seen for a while. But I try to make them up there as much as I can, as long as my family's not doing anything down here, because I hate to miss my daughter's dances, and I hate to miss my son's football games as well too. So I try to correlate those things and make them work. So when I can, I try to get up there.
Yeah. So how old are the kids now? What are they up to?
Yeah,
they're 13. My daughter's 13. She does dance and kick at her school. She's in 8th grade. And my son, he's 11. He plays, he's on 7-on-7 right now, so he's going to start tackle football next year. I try to get him out there to play basketball, but he's not really budging on it right now. That's not his thing.
He's not 13 yet. He hasn't found it.
No, he's 11,
like
but he's about 5'7" right now. So
is he?
Yeah, he's about 5'7" and 11. So I'm trying, but I'm more worried about him being happy more than anything. So if he's happy
good for you,
7-on-7, I'm cool with that too.
Good for you.
Great.
So you get out of University of Maryland, you get drafted by the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
Then you played in Orlando for a little bit, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then you had an overseas career for 10, 12 years?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
And if I remember, when you were overseas, well, first you go to the Rockets, and then you play in Orlando. What was it like to play in the NBA?
Wow. Man, I'm gonna tell you. I'll be honest with you, man. It was mind blowing at first. At first, I felt like I didn't belong mentally, because all these guys that I was playing against and playing with, I actually had posters of them on my wall. So looking at that, going back and looking at that, it took me a second to figure out that I belonged in the league, because it was so far-fetched in my mind that NBA players are kind of like rock stars or like actors. Like, you'd be lucky to see them, lucky to be with them, around them, or something like that. And I finally got a chance to do that. So it was just an out-of-body experience at first. Once I kind of figured it out a little bit, to settle down, I think I got a grip on it a little bit. Then it started making sense to me at that time.
So, and again, if you are tuning in, you're tuning into the last of Good Old Boys with Blaine and Billy. We're talking with Terence Morris, Frederick basketball standout, played at Governor Thomas Johnson, went to the University of Maryland, went on to play for the Houston Rockets, Orlando Magic, then a 10 years overseas career that we'll jump into, and currently living in Houston, Texas. Who was the one when like you talked about posters on the wall? So you're in the NBA. And was there ever a moment you say, "Oh my goodness gracious, I'm on the court with this person, or I'm guarding this person," or what? You know what I mean? Was there that one person that you're like, "Holy cow"?
All right, I'll say this: when I was in high school, I met Magic Johnson at the Magic Johnson Brown Ball Classic. I was excited about it, not as much as my mother. I even coached I was at Michael Jordan's camp. I think my junior year. I got to be one of the counselors at his camp in Chicago. I really wasn't excited. I was excited to meet Jordan. I mean, that's Jordan. But the person who kind of blew my mind was Penny. The thing is, when I was growing up, me and I'm sure you'll probably hear this eventually. Me and Michael Foreman, we were big. He was a big Chris Webber fan, and I was a Penny fan at the time. And we would go back and forth with who was better. And I'm like, Well, he got picked number 1. Well, he got picked number 3. And he got traded. And I was like, well, Penny's going to be better, man. Penny's better. So he's always been the person I looked up to because I wanted to. He was the next person up from Magic Johnson being at 6'7". He was a point guard that could do everything. And I'm like, well, I'm 6'8". I mean, I want to be like that where I can go out there and do everything too and be that type of player. So at my first year in Houston, we played in the Long Beach, Summer League. And word got out that he heard that I was a fan of his.
Really?
So one of the managers on our team said, hey, man, somebody wants to meet you in the tunnel. And I'm thinking like maybe like a former player that I haven't played against. I did play against, and we haven't seen each other in a while. It was Penny's in the tunnel. And he was like, that's the first time I've ever been like, besides when I saw Nia Long my rookie year. That was different. I've ever been like, wow, he actually knew who I was and knew my name. And when I said that, I didn't even know what to say at first. And then he gave me a jersey, autographed jersey of his that I still have.
Oh my gosh!
To this day, I still got it framed in my house. So something I'll never ever get rid of. But that was the moment where it's like, man, like I don't even know if I put myself in a situation to even meet somebody like that at the time, or he even knows who I was. So it was really cool at the time.
By the way, I have your jersey framed in my basement. I just got to get you to sign it. We tried to arrange that several times. Yeah,
I thought I did. If not,
you want that thing. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, Terrence.
The next time I'm up there, man, I will definitely pitch stop and make sure I do that.
But next time you're up here, I might be in the nursing home.
Look, I'm trying to get up there, man. This is not easy as it used to be.
I get it.
Well, that says a lot about his character to go out of his way to come and meet you and bring you a jersey.
Man,
that's like a good dude.
That was awesome. Yeah. That was awesome.
So what was it like? Then you went overseas for 10 years, and you played in Russia for a while too, didn't you?
Yeah, I played in Russia for a year. Okay. I don't think I could take it any more than a year in Moscow.
It's different back then.
I'll say this, man. It's like I had a great playing experience over there, but the off the court situation was not there. It was just the weather was bad. The people just aren't friendly. It was like, I don't know if I can stay over here longer than a year. So I signed a year and I got out of there, and I went to Barcelona after that.
How many different countries did you play in?
Greece, Israel, Spain, Russia. I think that's about it.
What was your favorite?
Israel.
Really?
Israel, yes. Israel. Wow. I mean, team-wise, I probably want to say the most talented team I've ever been on was Barcelona for sure. But I had my most fun in Israel. I had a coach there, Dan Shamir. He reminded me so much of Coach Dickman, how his cool demeanor was, and he knew what he was talking about when it came to basketball.
So when you get done with all that, and I mean, my goodness, you're living overseas for 10 years. I'm assuming you're coming back here in the off season or whatnot, but you make Houston your home. Was Houston always your home once you left? In other words, once you got drafted by the NBA, did you make Houston your home and just keep it your home?
It didn't initially go that way. What happened was the prices down here are a lot cheaper than they are back in Maryland. I'll say that.
Yeah, crazy.
So yeah, that's a big factor into it. And also, man, it wasn't snowing here at the time. So in the off season, yeah, I don't have to deal with snow or anything like that. So, and I didn't know this before too. Houston's a home base for a lot of people. A lot of people have a lot of homes down here. So when the summer would hit at the off season, we would all work out together, like all different players. We would play pickup. We would go lift. We would come back and shoot again. And it became like a ritual where it kept happening over and over again. And then before you know it, it's been 10, 12 years since I've been down here, and longer. And then I'm like, well, I already grew roots here, so I'm already kind of stuck in the situation here. So that's how it kind of worked out being down here.
And you said you've got 2 kids, correct?
Yes.
And you're coaching basketball down there. Tell us a little bit about you're doing private training and coaching, correct?
Yes. I'm doing private training. Private training is where I kind of first started off with. I never really got into coaching before because I saw the stress that coaches go through. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to put myself through all that. So it kind of led from doing individual workouts, group workouts, into like getting in coaching. My neighbor across the street set me up in a way. He knew that I was a basketball mind. He knew how much I liked basketball. So he asked me to coach his team. This is like right after the pandemic. And I went to one of his practices. Like, you can just help out. And the practice was awful. And I'm like, these kids aren't learning anything out here. I was like, my God. All right, hold on. Let me do this. So I started running the practice that day. And the kids had so much fun doing what they did because it's like a mind game when you make them do things that they don't think that they're doing. So when they're playing defense, they're doing this, but they're doing drills, but they're working so hard, but they don't know that they're doing it. And it ended up just growing like, maybe I can do this. So it kind of went from there to being like, okay, well, let's try this. So word started getting out that, hey, this guy's over here coaching. He's a pretty good coach, and the team is pretty good. Do you want us? And that's how my AAU kind of started that way. And then, word of mouth, kind of like just, all right, keep coming. And I hate to turn people down. So I didn't want any kids to be on the street saying like he had no room for us, so we don't know. So I'm like, no, we're going to figure something out. We'll get 2 teams. We'll get 3 teams. We'll figure it out. Because I want everybody to have a place to go. So
right.
It was either
and
that.
And that's really what I wanted people to hear and why I want you on this podcast of what you're doing in Houston, Texas, helping kids and giving back to the community, and preach one, teach one. Yep. And you've learned a lot in your career, like you said. So you got a lot going on down there, don't you?
Oh, it's an everyday thing. So when I get home, usually in the evenings, I'm done for the day.
So how many kids you got in your programs now?
Oh my gosh, like literally, it's hard to. I don't even know. It's probably well up in the 80s right now. Yeah,
80.
Yeah,
that's great, man.
That's basically what you're doing Monday through. That's what your career and your life's calling is right now. You're doing that full time.
My thing was decide I could go get a job in the league and play in the league, but then I'm going away from my family a little bit, or I could do this here locally where I do this with some kids that want to get better, but I can also kiss my wife and my kids every day before they go to bed. So I decided to do that instead. That's the most important.
You're a special person, Terence. You're a special person. I tell you a couple questions before we let you go here, because I know that you made time in your schedule coming right from practice. So in college, what team did you hate playing against? At Maryland, when you knew, was it an ACC school? Was it out of conference? Who was the team that you're like, man, this is gonna be a long night?
I don't know if it's still like that or not, but I'm assuming it is. Like, we've been raised to hate Duke for some reason.
Everyone hates Duke.
Like I have no problem with North Carolina. I got buddies, Brendan Haywood, and these guys like I'm buddies with on Carolina. But here's something about Duke, man. That's like I hate, don't like them. Like we just want to not like I hate you as a person. It's just the team. Like anything that's affiliated with the team, like we've always been that's the worst team that I want to always want to beat.
And it's still like that, man. Still like that.
You said Israel was your favorite country that you lived in and when you played. What about in the NBA? Was there a particular team or player you're like
Orlando? Or I grew up. I grew up a Penny fan. I got to play for the team that I was cheering for when I was younger. Like that's like amazing. A kid. That's like a kid playing like he's, want to be on the Yankees, and all of a sudden you get to play for that. Like it was awesome.
Yeah,
I can't. There's no words for that.
Well, before we let you go, is there anything you'd like to share? I mean, we hope to see you in Frederick. I'd like to get my jersey signed, and I better not hear you about playing no pickleball either.
No, you won't see me playing pickleball, probably not. But I need to get on the golf course now. I got to get my clubs out there a little bit. It's been a while.
What you shooting? How you shooting?
I don't shoot anything. I'm just out there having fun. I may even play like 3. I may even not even play 2 holes in a row. I just out there just having fun.
Right, just hit some balls.
No, I'm serious.
Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah. So before you go, what do you want to tell the people of Frederick? You're talking to Frederick right now, man. Everyone's going to watch this.
This is everything Frederick.
Because Terence Morris, man, he's the guy, right? So what do you want to tell Frederick?
And a lot of people haven't heard from you in a long while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I kind of stay quiet a little bit. I don't, I talk to people, but I'm not really a big time social person when it comes to talking to people. I just want to tell everybody hello. I'm doing fine down here. And, when I do get a chance to come up there, man, I will try to talk to many people, many of my friends, many of my buddies, people that I know. And I'll probably stay up there a little bit longer just to extend the stay. And hopefully we could try to grab lunch, dinner, or whatever, or just even sit down on the park bench and talk.
You ain't got to do that. You tell me when you're coming, and we're going to have a Terence Morris night.
I got your phone number. I got your phone number now, so
we're going to have a Terence Morris night. We're going to invite a bunch of people out, and again, if people are listening to this podcast, hopefully they heard what I said about putting Terence's jersey in the rafters there at University of Maryland, because I'm going to keep laying into Johnny Holiday. I might call him after the thing's over.
I don't know if it's up to Johnny, but if it is, I'm pretty sure it'll probably been up there by now. But like I said, it's okay. It's all good.
Well, I know Coach Dickman sends his love. My little brother, Alex Boogie Young, says hello.
That's what's up. What's up, Alex?
Yep. Yeah. And Terence, you have a wonderful evening, and I thank you for coming on the last of the good old boys with Blaine and Billy, and letting us know what you're up to and how you're, again, I wanted to share your story, but the podcast is about people that are not only from Frederick, but they've moved, helped make Frederick what it is, but you're down there and you're helping 80 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you got caught into that by accident, and now it's like you're the Pied Piper and you got 80 kids that you're working with.
It's amazing, man. It's good work. Good work.
Before I let you go, can you still dunk?
Actually, that's funny because I just got finished working out one of my buddies, one of my boys. So actually he said, "Can I dunk?" And I'm like, I feel kind of good today. So I was like, you know what, let me try. And I dunked it and he missed it the first time. So he's like, I didn't see it. I was walking over to the bench. I'm like, you serious? So I had to do it again. I almost tore something doing it though. But at least I can still do it.
All right. Well, Terence, thank you again. You've been great, and thank you for agreeing to come on the podcast. For those that are tuning in, Terence Morris, Frederick basketball legend, played at Thomas Johnson High School, went to University of Maryland, legend there, went on to play 2 years, 3 years in NBA, Houston, Orlando, then 10 years overseas, living in Houston, Texas, giving back to the community, helping kids, 80 kids. But what he said that should hit home most, that he wanted to stay there and do something that he could come home every night and kiss his wife and his kids goodnight. Yeah. And if that statement doesn't hit you between the eyes, nothing will. All right?
All right.
You take care, Terence. I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys having me. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, man.
Right,
appreciate it.
Take care. You've been listening to the last of the good old boys. We'll take a quick break. Be back with Jack Felton, who's running for county council at large, and we'll catch up with him. So we'll be right back over this message. You take care, Terence. Don't you be playing no pickleball now.
No, I won't, man. I won't.
See you later.
You too, Blaine. Have a good one, guys.
Take care.
See you.
Bye.
Sponsored by Fusion Car Wash. Now with 2 locations in Frederick to serve you. One on Spectrum Drive near the FSK Mall, which is a full-service location. And TJ Drive with self-serve vacuums. Download the free Fusion Car Wash app and sign up for a monthly membership. And you can keep all your cars clean daily. FusionCarWash.com.
Welcome back to the last of the good old boys with Blaine Young, Billy Shreve, and our guest now is Jack Felton. And as I said, this podcast is not a political podcast. I like talking to people who have made Frederick what it is, what it will be. So we're going to have various folks on that are running for office. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. We don't lean either way. Just reach out to me, reach out to Billy. Sometimes I'll reach out to you, and we'll talk to you. So Jack Felton is joining us. Jack, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Good. And you're running for county council.
That's correct.
And at first you're running for district. What was that number down there?
2.
And then you now have switched and you're running for at large.
That's right.
So, Jack, to kind of let you know how the podcast is, we're not going to get into your political views too much right away. I know you're running on the Republican side. I believe you're unopposed. But I want to know about you, Jack. So, tell me a little bit about, you didn't get to hear it when we talked to Terence, but tell us about where you grew up and how you ended up in Frederick and what you did for a living, do for a living, and all that good stuff.
Okay, that's great. So I grew up in Montgomery County, and my address was Rockville, but it was actually much closer to Olney.
Okay.
And back then it was just a small little country town. Literally, we used to bike behind our elementary school to Olney, and Carvel's was there, and it was a cool little town to grow up in. And then in 1994, I bought a house in Mount Airy and moved to Mount Airy. I lived there for 13 years. And then moved to Middletown. I was there for 9, and I currently live in Newmarket in West Winds. I've lived there 9 years.
Okay.
For my career, when I was 21 years old, I got a job at the Rockville Post Office as a letter carrier, and I started out.
One of the ones with the bag, and you're going door to door delivering mail.
Yeah, and it was a wake up call because you kind of think you go in there and you grab a bag and you walk out. It's not like that at all. You're there at 5:30 in the morning, you're doing something called casing mail. That's getting your mail in delivery sequence order. And then you're out, and that's like a 4-hour event. And then you're out in the street for like 5 hours walking. So I did that for 13 years and also drove a lot while I was doing that as well. Like a same size truck as a UPS truck, delivering to big firms.
Yeah, the bigger stuff.
Yeah, like IBM, Shady Grove Hospital, things like that. And then I got into management. I became a supervisor, and I was a supervisor for a few years. Then I became a manager. I actually managed the Aspen Hill Post Office, had 3 offices and about 150 employees. And then was the acting postmaster of Rockville, had about almost 400 employees there. And then I became the postmaster of Mount Airy up in Frederick County.
Okay.
And then I was postmaster of Jefferson, and I retired from the Postal
Now,
Service.
explain what a postmaster is for those that may not know.
Okay, so postmaster is you have your post office and you're in charge of everything.
You're like the mayor or the manager of the post office.
It's actually a very well respected position.
Yes.
Within a community. They rely on you. For years.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And the president of the United States it was a elected position.
Yeah.
He would pick you and then he would swear you in. In 1971, they changed that, but we still get a signature from the Postmaster General.
Yep.
In charge of the entire United States. And so you're budgeting, you're ordering, you're making sure your P.O. box mails up, your delivery is accurate and on time, and your front office is going good.
So you know how to manage, even though it's the government, I get that. Even though the post office is separate, I mean, I know it's government, but y'all kind of independent from other agencies, from my understanding when I've researched the post office. But you're running a business, basically.
It's like your franchise.
Yeah.
It's very similar to a franchise. Yeah, they're mostly run the same way for the most part, but that's your office within many offices, but you're fully responsible for everything and upkeep, cutting the grass. I mean, not contracting out to get that done, snow removal. You're dealing with contractors and budgets, and it's a very responsible job. It's a lot of responsibility, a lot of hours.
It's like it's your house. You got to take care of it.
Yep.
Okay.
For sure.
So you retired from that, or are you still doing that?
So I worked there 37 years and 2 months, and I retired. And I retired, and my father was actually living with us. And then when he got ill, I stayed out of retirement for probably about a year. And my father was a World War II D-Day
Wow.
veteran.
Bet you he had some good stories.
Yeah, off the coast of Omaha Beach,
Yeah.
which was the worst beach. And anyway, so he was a great father, a great guy. I lost him about a year and a half ago. He was almost 99 when he passed.
Sorry to hear that. Lived a long life.
Yes, he did. Very cool life too.
Absolutely.
We got to go back for the 75th anniversary of D-Day to Omaha
Wow.
Beach. American Airlines took us to meet myself and my father there. It was incredible. Got to meet President Macron out there. And then back here at the French Embassy in D.C., my dad was personally pinned by President Macron.
Wow.
I was right there with him. It was really cool.
So what's that thing on your Facebook page about France? Like you pull it up and it says like something about France.
Yeah, well, when we were over there, we met a family that I keep in touch with all the time, probably once a week. And then for the 79th anniversary of D-Day, I didn't go back. So my dad had a chaperone. But when he got there, this family, Jerome and Sandrine, they took care of my dad. I mean, totally took care of him. They were by his side every step of the way, making sure he was okay because he was, up in age at that point. And now I still maintain a friendship with them. We talk all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
So now you decide you want to run for political office. What kind of shaped that? I mean, well, first tell us a little bit about the family, kids, all that good stuff.
Yeah, been married this September for 32 years, and have two children,
Yep.
Olivia and Joey.
I think my son knows Joey, right? JR.
Oh, yes, yeah. JR and my son are very good friends. I actually talked to JR today on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked, and JR spent the night many times at our house in the high school years, having
Hopefully
a good time.
it's good.
It was I'm not, I don't have to say anything.
We don't need to tell any stories.
He's the many many friends that my son has. JR was one of our favorites for sure.
Well,
good kid for sure. And so yeah, two great kids. One graduated from University of Maryland, great school. Very proud of Olivia. And my son graduated from Yale. He went there and played 4 years of football and graduated, and now is up in New Haven. And so what kind of got me into thinking about running was, number one, my father used to always talk about politics growing up. He was well-versed and always heard it from the sidelines kind of thing. And then when I went to the Charlie Kirk candlelight vigil after he was murdered and, went up and spoke, and I think I did pretty good. And people came up to me and said, hey, you should do something. I said, well, I've been kind of thinking of it. And I absolutely love Frederick County.
That's the way it starts, that one little speech.
Yeah. And I'm very proud of living in Frederick County. And I want to make sure that, my family continues to live in a great county, and the people of Frederick County continue to live in a great county. And so I really care about that.
So the real premise is that you just want to maintain Frederick County and keep it a wonderful county for future families, basically.
Yes. Like, when you're driving around, you see some beautiful landscape. I love downtown city of Frederick. I think it's really cool. Patrick and Market. It's a lot of activity, great restaurants, just a cool place. Every day during my lunch now, I walk down to Carroll Creek and I walk the creek, and just a cool place. Really love it.
So if somebody wanted to learn more, where would they go? Do you have anything up in, is it, you have a Facebook page yet or website, or is that all still in the making?
Well, I decided to keep my personal Facebook page because I have over 2,000 followers and friends. So I don't want to start over on that. March 7th, I'm having my campaign kickoff at the New York JMPs in Spring Ridge.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep, that's a great place. Love Frank. And so it's at 6 p.m. and it'll go into the evening, and it's going to be just a fun activity, get together, have a drink, hang out. We're going to have some music, get to know people, answer some questions, hopefully, reunite with some old friends. And it's also a fundraiser as well. And part of the bar bill and tab, people's food bill, will go towards my campaign with the generosity of Frank.
So what are some of the, before I kind of wrap up, what are some of the major issues you're going to focus on this campaign? If you knocked on my door and you said you wanted my vote, what would be kind of the 1, 2, or 3 issues that you would hit me with of why you're running and why I should vote for you?
Well, I'm going to start with the very hot issue right now, and that's the data centers. That's a big topic. It's in the paper all the time. It's on tip of everyone's tongue. especially for the Adamstown residents. So I really feel the location that we put this data center and then the overlay that's, was approved by the county council 5-2 was a poor decision, was the wrong decision. I think we should have placed it somewhere different. I think, and then approving an overlay to expand it even more, I think was not the correct decision. So I really want to focus on that. We're doing a petition right now and trying to get 15,000 signatures, which in hopes will bring that to the voting polls, and we'll let the people decide if they want this overlay. And if they want it, they can vote on it. If they don't want it, please vote no. And then, it'll go back to the council for reconsideration. And, so that's what we really want is just get it approved by the people, not politicians.
How long do you have to get those signatures?
I believe the date is sometime mid-March. I went down to Beyond Comics and signed my petition. John was there, and I think he told me by mid-March, I think it has to be completed.
Okay.
So any other issues that you're focusing on besides the data centers?
Yeah, definitely. So that's a big concern. Another concern is in 1994, when I moved up to Mount Airy, my taxes, I believe, if I remember right, were about $2,800. Now they're $8,500 roughly. So and that impacts your mortgage, impacts your monthly payment and everything. And so I really want to dive into that and see if we can lower people's property taxes. Even if we incrementally move it down a little bit at a time, that percentage that we're all charged. And then if these, if money is going to be rolling in to the county via data centers, if we're supposed to get 30 more of these, and if we, I will make sure they're placed in a correct, proper, safe location. That's going to bring a lot of money into the county, and that's the thing you could look at and say, okay, if we're getting all this money, let's lower some property taxes. Let's feed it back to the community. Subsidize electricity. This thing's going to be bringing a lot of electricity. Things of that nature.
So what I'm hearing is you're not saying you're opposed to data centers. You're wanting to have a better hand in how they're placed and where they're placed.
Yeah, I would love to say data centers aren't going to come, but it's inevitable. I mean, data centers are what feeds AI, and we're at the infant state of AI. AI is not going away. It's here to stay, and that's what I believe and what I've researched. So these data centers supply electricity at a high demand. And so they're coming, and that's just the way it is. It's like telling Carnegie not to build steel. And
at least you're being a realist, though.
Yeah,
at least you're not taking the approach that I'm against them. We're going to stop them. I think you're being a realist that they're coming to someone's community. They're coming to someone's county. You just want a better process in how it's determined where they go, basically.
Yes, Virginia's got over 100 of them. I think it's probably inevitable that they're coming.
US, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see, and if you go back, if you ever Google Oregon data centers, where they were put right next to people's community, you can read the impacts that it had on the communities. And this is going back a few years, so they've had some time to experience them. If they're going to come, if they're coming, we have to make sure they're put in safe locations that's not going to impact people's lives.
All right. Well, Jack, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast and talking with us. And again, I wanted people to get to know you and anybody that is tuning in the podcast, whether you're Democrat, Republican, I'd like for you to come on. I don't necessarily want to dive deep into issues. I want people to know a little bit about you, where you're from, what you did, your family, all that good stuff. We will dive into if there's some particular issues that you care about. And we're glad we're glad you're in the race, and it looks like we have a full slate, at least for the general election, when it comes to the county races. I believe all races got filled out, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah,
yes, I think all spots. So it looks like it's going to be election time, folks. So Jack, thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Wish you luck.
Appreciate you being here.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Last of Good Old Boys with Blaine and Billy. I want to thank Terence Morse for joining us and really sharing some things he's never shared before. And again, like I said, the podcast is about Frederick. That's why we're on Everything Frederick. So we're going to talk about a lot of Frederick stuff, all Frederick stuff, people that have helped make Frederick what it is. And then we segue to someone like Jack, who has been part of this community a long time, but wants to be part of the discussion of making it of what it will be in the future. So I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Next week, by the way, we're going to have Chip Jewell on, and we're going to be talking about fire service, folks. We're going to talk about the history of the fire service. Chip knows so much history. People, Jack, I don't know if people don't realize, people think 911's been around forever. And before it was 911, it was Central Alarm. And before that, you just started dialing your local fire station, hoping that people picked up. So he's going to be talking about some of the fire companies, the history of 911, all that good stuff. And then Diane Fouché, who is running for county executive on the Republican side, will be by, and we'll be talking with her and get a little bit of her backstory and why she's running for county executive. And with that, for Billy Shreve.
What night?
Next week, it's Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
So not Wednesday. Next week. Generally, we're always trying to be on Wednesdays, but sometimes we're going to be on Thursdays because of my work schedule. But what we're going to do is we're going to be here every week talking Frederick and highlighting people that help make it what it is and those that will help make it what it will be in the future. And with that, for Billy Shreve, I'm Blaine Young, and have a wonderful night.
That's this week's conversation on the last of the good old boys. Join the discussion, drop your questions and comments, and be part of the conversation. Catch us live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. on the Everything Frederick Live YouTube channel, right here from Studio 401.